So how can this agile approach help data teams better adapt to the obviously rapidly changing requirements?
Yeah, the benefits here is that when you're working in this sprint agile methodology, I just talked about sprints, but
Mm,
you have a clear picture of what you need to
mm,
achieve over the course of your sprint. Prioritization of work becomes pretty easy when you break up your work into sprints. So you can take your highest priority items first and put them into your upcoming sprint. Your lower priority items can be put into your subsequent sprint or relegated to the backlog for whenever your team has some additional capacity. So it makes prioritization of work very easy. And also, if something pops up in the middle of a sprint, you can always pivot and rearrange some of your work items, push things back to further sprints. Obviously, not ideal, but it's the real world things to
mhm,
happen. Changing requirements is a little bit different. That's a serious risk in all development
mm,
projects. So that's often associated with something that people like to call scope creep, which is the worst thing you can hear in a project setting. But it's more common than you think. And I've had
mm,
multiple projects where stakeholders will ask for new or different requirements than were initially presented. And of course, it always seems to happen on the week you're like scheduled to deploy. And so luckily the agile development life cycle can handle this. So you just simply tell your stakeholders, that's great. Let's batch it up with the rest of the requirements and put it into our second version that we're going to release in a short period of time. So that's the good thing about agile is despite the fact that your user base might be just, oh wait, I've thought of something else. Like that doesn't mean you stop work and then add in those new
mm,
features and have to delay your deployment. You still go forward with your deployment and you take those new requests and you put them towards version 2 or version 3 or
mm.
whatever else you may be doing.
So it just keeps you on track, basically. It gets aligned, and I guess if you're unorganized, it's key.
Yeah, right,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, it allows you to really focus your work
Mm,
and to not ignore new requests because you're not ignoring them. You're just
mm,
making sure that they follow the process. And the whole point of the process is to deliver a good product. And so not following that process and taking in those features is a risk. So you just
mm.
have to make sure that you're communicating clearly with your stakeholders and being transparent with them to to make sure that they understand that their requests are not going unanswered. It's just we're going to do it within our process.
Yeah, no, it's good because I think, like I said, I think communication is the biggest challenge in business because, like I said, things do evolve, change. People get sick, ill, things like that happen. It's just, like I said, you get up new requests, new changes.
Hmm.
It's you need to adapt, don't you? So I think it's yeah, see where it could be really beneficial there. So I guess how would this